Hi, welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Jill Duffy here with Max Eddy. The top news story in tech headlines today is that Internet.org is bringing some free but limited internet access to subscribers in Zambia.
So Internet.org is sort of a charitable organization founded by Facebook, and their goal is to bring internet access to more people. On their website, their big thing is that 85% of the world has access to cell phones, but only 30% has access to the internet. Their goal is to change that, and their new Android app will allow some Airtel customers in Zambia free access to certain websites.
Right, so Airtel is really sponsoring this, and the kinds of websites that people will be able to access include things like local job search, Google search, Wikipedia, some women's rights information, things like that. So it's not the entire web.
Facebook as well.
Facebook and Facebook Messenger, yeah. So there are some people who've kind of said, you know, Facebook definitely has an interest in expanding its network by getting more customers on the social network for free. But I think overall it's a nice gesture to be giving people with these limited feature phones and very limited access at least some usable tools and access to the internet.
And it uses some interesting technology, probably similar to stuff that we've seen in Opera Mobile, which does compression on the back end and then sends a smaller version of the website to your phone. It can be a little bit slower, but it is pretty much just like you're browsing the internet normally. But there have been a lot of developments in like the developing world and the third world about new business opportunities, and that is a huge growing area for cell phone manufacturers. So it's not surprising to see Airtel and Facebook wanting to encourage growth in that area.
So this is rolling out in Zambia now, and hopefully it will be coming to some other countries and developing markets soon. In other mobile news, T-Mobile had its quarterly results, and the results were pretty good.
Yeah, very good for T-Mobile. There's lots of numbers here, so I won't even pretend I'm not reading it. So it's their quarterly revenue beat expectations. They're up to $7.2 billion, which is an absurd amount of money, and like I said, great news for them. Yeah. The second quarter, they added 1.5 million customers, again, more than they were expecting. Reuters now says that the company is expected to add between 3 million and 3.5 million postpaid customers in 2014.
Yeah, John Legere, the CEO and president, said, "We have completely reversed T-Mobile's trajectory." So that gives you an idea that they didn't always used to have this place in the market, but they are super strong right now. They're growing tremendously fast. They have one of the fastest mobile networks in the country. So what does this mean for the T-Mobile and Sprint merger?
Well, I'm not going to pretend that I'm Sasha Segan and go off and tell you exactly what this means, but it is an interesting wrinkle because John Legere and his Un-carrier efforts have really raised T-Mobile's awareness in the general buying population. They're doing very well, and they're buying up, people are buying up a lot of these cheaper plans, getting away from AT&T and Verizon. It sort of makes it seem like a merger with Sprint would kind of be moot, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, Sasha Segan is, of course, our mobile analyst here at PCMag. I'm sure we'll have lots of coverage from him, lots of opinion pieces, of course, on PCMag.com. Our third piece of news today is that BitTorrent is releasing a new serverless chat client. So serverless, to me, Max, rings of security and privacy. What do you think of this?
And this BitTorrent service will hopefully have that in great abundance. It's called Bleep. It's for Windows 7 and Windows 8, and it sort of plays off of BitTorrent's whole decentralized file exchanging service. Except this time, instead of exchanging files, you'll be exchanging messages. These messages are using open key encryption, and then new keys are generated for each message that you send. You'll be able to, I believe, send voice and text messages.
That's pretty good,
which
yeah.
is really interesting. But this is very, very early. They're calling it an alpha release. You can go onto their website, sign up to get more information about it. But it could really be a big push for BitTorrent, like taking them away from files and more towards secure messaging, which has been a huge growth area.
Do you have other secure messaging apps that you like? I know you've tested a bunch of them.
I'm working on one right now called Signal from Whisper Systems. They make Redphone and Text Secure for Android, both of which are very good. I'm excited to work on an iPhone security app as well. For iPhone and Android, you also have Wicker, which does text and video and all sorts of good stuff like that. As I said, this is an area that's just exploding. People want to be able to send their messages securely to other people, and hopefully BitTorrent will let people do that.
Yeah. Let's take a reader question. I got a piece of email the other day from a guy named James who actually came and visited us in the lab not too long ago. James asked via email, "I'm looking for a career in writing. I've been a journalist for Examiner.com for a few years and I have a few other experiences that might be applicable. That said, I'm not completely sure where to start or how to approach this. Do you have any helpful words?" I should also say James has an interest in tech and game development, game design, things like that too. So I think that's why he's come to us.
Hopefully we have lots of advice.
Yeah, so what would you tell an aspiring writer in the tech space?
Well, probably the first thing is to write about lots and lots of different things, cover a lot of ground, write a little bit about security, a little bit about health. Those clips will be extremely valuable because you'll be able to say, I've already done a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I also think it's helpful to cast a wide net. So if you're looking to get full-time employment with somebody, really be open to exploring lots of different opportunities. You don't know where they'll lead. And in this kind of industry, nobody stays anywhere for too long. So don't feel bad if you take a job and it's not exactly what you want, because maybe you'll only be there for a year or two. But those experiences, the time on your resume, and the contacts you meet will totally be helpful.
Those contacts are really important. Make friends with everyone and be interesting. Have opinions about stuff.
Have opinions, yeah, that's really important.
And always have a good angle. If you've got an idea for a story that you don't think anyone else is talking about, write it up. It might be really great for you later on.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at one cool thing. Every day we pull something off the shelves of the PCMag labs here in New York City where we test products. And today we have a brand new device. It's just been announced today. It's called Runtastic Orbit. This is a new fitness tracker, and it's super similar to the Fitbit the Fitbit Force, if you remember that device that was recalled because of some skin sensitivity issues. So this new device is from Runtastic. They are a European health and fitness maker. They make a number of apps and other pieces of hardware, so they're pretty experienced, but they've only really been in the US aggressively for about a year or so. Some nice features of this, so it counts your steps, how much you move during the day, and your sleep at night. But a couple of signature features is that it's waterproof, which very few fitness activity trackers are. And it also comes with some swappable bands and clips. So sometimes people are concerned that they don't really want a clip or they don't really want a wristband. With this, you have two options because the device itself just pops right out. You can change the clips, you can change the bands. There's a number of different colors. So that's the Runtastic Orbit. It sells for $119, and our review of it is up now on PCMag. Max, what do you think?
I think it's really cool. It fits nicely. It's good and snug. I wouldn't feel ashamed to wear it around, but I also wouldn't be too worried about breaking it. I noticed that if you double tap, you get a little smiley face. What's that about?
Oh, right. So this is a happiness meter. So during your day, if you have a moment where you're feeling especially happy, you double tap that button, the happy face shows up, and then when you look at your data at the end of the day or over the weeks, you can see the times of day when you decided you were happiest. So I don't know exactly what you would do with that. You seem to be kind of excited about that feature.
I think it's very interesting. Just some new piece of data that maybe we can do something with. You know, we're tracking a lot of stuff, movement and all that. But like, what about your emotional needs? Like maybe this will be a great opportunity to remember something good that happened or to correlate between things that you do in life. Like I'm just really happy whenever I eat M&Ms out of the machine. So I'm going to go buy some M&Ms from the machine right now.
All right. Well, you know what? This device also has an ambient light meter. I think this is kind of cool. So if you live in the northern states or the northern countries and you're not always feeling so happy, maybe it's because you're not getting enough sunlight. This might be able to tell you that.
Very cool.
So that's our show for today. We'll see you next time.
So long.